What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a special video. So a lot of you guys have been asking me for like my build and all that stuff. So now with artifacts being a thing, I figured now would be a good time to do, I guess, like a diary update on my build. Just also for people who are looking into playing Dark Knight in the future, what I could do, some beginner to gearing tips I guess I can give you. As always, if you have a question and it's not covered in the video, feel free to leave it in the comments, join the Discord, ask it. I'll try to get back to you. So I think the last time we did an update was when the reboots happened for all the classes, and we talked about all the skills and stuff. We'll go over that a little bit later, but I guess we're gonna be, diary updating our build and telling you what I think might be good, showing you everything I have so far. So I don't know if I would count this as a guide. I don't really know where to start, but I guess it's just like showing you what I have and explaining why I have it. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So as you guys know, Dark Knight, both Succession and Awakening are very solid. I do actually play both from time to time depending on what I'm doing. So one of the bigger questions I've gotten lately was, should I play Succession or should I play Awakening? Now, I think it really is situational. It also depends on, like, hey, did you hit your pen weapon? Which one did you hit first? If you hit a pen dandy first or a pen black star, I might play Awakening just because your bracket might be like 1 or 2 higher. But that's a very specific case. Ultimately, I think they're both very good. Play with whichever one you like. In terms of like skill points wise, you do need a little bit more for Awakening if you want to max everything out. Now, granted, like I would say, I don't actually know, like 1700, 1800, you can get all the relevant stuff for both Awakening and Succession. But if you want to max out everything, like hard cap, for Succession, I think you need about like 2350, and then, well, this is what I have for Awakening, so you need closer to like 2700 for Awakening and 2350 for Succession. That's 100%, by the way. You don't need that many. So, yeah, anyway, so here we are. This is our update. Now that artifacts are out, I guess I can show you what I have. If you want to know like all the Lightstone combos and all the artifacts, there's I posted a link in my Discord, or you could just Google the spreadsheet that other people have made. Basically, it's just a list of everything. Google it. And so here are my plans for Lightstones and artifacts. Right now, this is what I use. I have 2 magic AP ones, which I actually have some videos previously of me grinding different spots for all this stuff, so you guys can see it. These are what I've grinded so far. We have I think it gave you a monster reduction one in the beginning. We got a melee AP one somewhere, AP against monsters, which I would think I might use at some point. Magic evasion ×2, magic DR, and melee evasion. I don't think these are really that good, because I think overall, if you want the defensive artifacts, you want the lower ones, but it's like all DR or all evasion. So let me just show you. The best way to do, like, if you don't know what drops what and you're trying to figure out where, just go to the item drop location and, I don't know, just like scroll through the tabs and you'll figure it out. So what I did was I grinded Monchums for a while, going for the magic AP artifact, and then I just happened to get the other 2 on the way. It really depends on your RNG. I think I got one artifact maybe every hour to hour and a half, or maybe 1 to every 2 hours, I guess. So yeah, just look up the ones you want. My ultimate endgame goal would be, where is it? I know this place is like super contested right now just because there's an event as well. Where is Kadri? So this one drops all evasion and all DR. And I think if you want the defensive ones, you would want one of like either of these two instead of like the magic or melee, because those give more, but it's very tailored towards who you're fighting. So if you just want an overall artifact and your defensive style, get one of these two. I would recommend two of like don't mix them. Like if you're a DR, just get 2 DR artifacts. If you're evasion, get 2 evasion ones. And then the later ones, which I think next month are coming out with the winter region, there's going to be more grind spots. But right now, what I want is the max HP artifacts. I think I want those more just because HP, just having a nicer number. So anyway, in the meantime, what I did grind for was the magic AP, or Dark Knight. We use magic damage. So I'm not really sure which ones are better. Like, I think the offensive ones might be slightly better than the defense ones, but I don't know. You might be wondering, why do you have the air attack one? It's just because that was the only one that was available on the market at the time, because I wanted the combination effect more. But if I were to switch it out, I do have an order on the one that gives crit damage of 5%. So I think ultimately, if you were to get something and you are playing Awakening, either crit damage or down attack would be better. Now, the reason why I think down attack, if you are playing Awakening, these two abilities, Shattering and Seed, are your like your big abilities. So you're gonna be using that plus the flow a lot. And these two do down attacks. Spirit Legacy is a down. And I mean, like, those are your big hitters, of course. And then you also have like, well, air attack right now, I guess, because I Wheel of Fortune, a lot of stuff. Down attack, enforcement is a very strong one, especially if you're playing Succession. That's a very good one. And let's see, where is down attack is very strong for Lunacy. So basically, all your big heavy hitters are down attack. So I think either crit or down attack may be the way to go if you're going offensive. Now, if you're going defensive, you want, I don't remember the combination, but it's like HP, DR, evasion, and like all resistance or something. I think that combination would be the best. Of course, I don't have it right now, or I'd show it to you. But basically, here's the combination. Damage reduction, evasion. So like Iron Wall, waves, heart for the HP, and I don't actually remember which one, but it's in Earth, I believe, and it's an expensive one. So basically, what you do is you just look at like what it is. All resistance. The mountain one is a pretty solid, but that's 2 billion silver. So a lot of people have been debating whether special attack evasion versus all resistance, or that also goes for offensive as well, like special evasion damage versus crit. And ultimately, it really depends on your playstyle. Do you know like what your abilities do? And that's one way to figure it out. But yeah, so some of my goals in the near future are obviously Pen Blackstar Vediant, 2 Tet Tungrads. Eventually, my goal, I don't know, like, this might be a little bit different because high-end versus medium geared players, at high-end, DR is supposedly a little bit more valuable because, I mean, ultimately you're still going to get clapped by like other 300 gear or 300 AP players. But I think if you hit like the 309 bracket, that is when you could start sacrificing more AP in terms of defensive abilities or stats. So the ultimate goal would be 309 with Kudum, and then obviously for PvP I do use Nuver. And so with that, assuming I had a Pen Black Star and 2 Tungrads, that would be more, so I could give up Distos for Narcs. It's kind of complicated, to be honest. It's like, if you're just a mid-tier player, up until, like, I don't know, up until you get to the 300 area, 297, whatever, 285 even, probably just stack AP, and it doesn't matter. You're probably, like, the meta is so wonky right now, where you just kind of die in a few hits, so assuming equal gear, that is, as well. So ultimately my goal would be to hit 309 Awakening with 2 Narcs, and we have 1 from the free, or not free, but like the pen accessory quest, and we could technically get another one with the money I have. I could really just sell these Distos and then get another one, but I think I'm gonna still use them for now. Like, even if I got it, I would probably wouldn't sell it, because you do use AP for stuff. So yeah. Then we have the Sayer Knot, which is basically our accuracy thing. I don't really use it. I just kind of wanted to meme and make it at one point to fight evasion builds, and it's okay. Like, if I were to go full DR, like, assuming I had this, add another 9, so that'd be like over 400 DP with Narcs and what is it, the Sayer, it'd be okay. But yeah, so I don't really use the Sayer. I just kind of got it for the memes, and if the meta ever shifts to full evasion again, this might be more useful. But until then, I think Nuver is just straight up the way to go. So if you want to see the crystals, here's what I use. I'll let you take a screenshot if you want. But Nuver, I use the same crystals in both of them. I don't really use the Sayer, as I just said, so I just have a regular crit crystal in there. If you want to put a corrupt, it's fine. It's not like it will make more of a difference, but ultimately I don't use it enough to want to spend the money on it. So yeah, this is basically my build now. Artifacts are just, I chose the offensive ability ones, and it feels like it. I mean, it feels good. In RBF and small scale fights, I don't really do siege because I don't know. Dark Knight's just not great in siege, so I didn't really have fun. But I like small scale stuff, 1v1s, like RBF, Battle Arena. I like those kind of things more. Crystals, you can buy Elcars now. Ever since Gyphon came out and Forest Furies are just flooding the market, you can actually buy Elcars now. That's good. Corrupt crystals are really cheap now, but I still don't want to spend like 40 million compared to like 200. Special evasion crystals with the HP, that's a luxury, because right now, good luck getting it unless you're warring every day, and even then it's RNG. I've always said that I wish that crystal loss on PvE death was just removed from the game. Now, I've always said, like, it was fine years ago because your set of crystals back in the day weren't costing you billions of silver. So, like, if I lost a Jhin special evasion crystal, I'd actually be kind of upset more than anything else, because it's just that hard to get it right now. So really, I wish they would, like, it's 2022. Let's say, yeah, just remove it from the game. I don't even want red players. Like, I wish the penalty for being red wasn't so harsh. Like, that is a playstyle. I'm okay with that. If someone wants to come up with to you and they're a red player, I do think there should be, like, negative effects for that, because obviously you could just go griefing. But I don't think you should lose crystals on death. I think If you're red, I don't know, like, you can keep all this. How about this? Like, just remove crystal loss on death, whether you're red or not. Just remove that from the game and from PvE. But like, let's say if you're red, you still lose your XP percentage if you die. Sure, whatever. I think that would make people want to try more high-end grind spots, just because like they wouldn't be afraid to lose like super expensive crystals. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Like, I have gear, I can grind a lot of places, but you know, stuff like Olins and stuff, for me, it's still a little bit sketchy trying to learn it. I've grinded there, but not enough to know like the telegraphs or everything yet. And I'm not trying to lose billions of silver and crystals. Well, it's not really the money that's the hard part. It's just getting some of the crystals is hard. Everything else, I believe, is down in price, and you can actually buy all the crystals now. So let's just take a quick look. I believe Jin Vipers are... Oh my god, there's so many. Yeah, if you need a Jin Viper, go get it. Easy. Elcars are at like an all-time low right now. Oh, they're going back up, but like, if you need them, get them. If you are a new player, what you could do in the meantime is get a precision crystal. They're basically the same thing. The difference between Elcar and precision is 4 accuracy per crystal. And also not 160 million each, but ultimately new player versus endgame player. Corrupt crystals are also at an all-time low, 48. If you need them, you should probably get them now before the new class comes out, or just make them yourself. Whom's I don't actually remember how to make... Oh, you need a Jinbon or Wan plus the regular to make it. I would honestly just try to put an order on a Han Whom over trying to make it yourself. Ultimately, I think it'll be like roughly the same price to make it versus order it, but one is... I don't know. It's probably the same price regardless. I forgot which one. Oh yeah, this one is kind of a luxury one because I understand getting a Garmoth's heart, let alone like 3 of them, is kind of a huge pain. So this is what I have in my Awakening one, just because I build more for PvP than PvE. So that's why if you see a grind video from me, I'm not pulling like the highest numbers, just because I rather spec for PvP in general. But I know you could just like, what is this skill preset one? But overall, I PvP more than I PvE. So anyway, yeah, I understand getting a Garmoth's heart is kind of a pain, especially if you want like 3 of them, if anything. So what you could do if you are a newer player, I'd recommend if when Stormbringer Karanda comes around, try to do that, and then you can get like a Heart of Karanda. It's not as good as a Garmoth because it'll only give you 1 crystal slot instead of 2, but 1 is free and 1 is 10 billion silver. So that's the difference between 1 crystal slot. Let's see, Capra 7 in my Kudum. The goal would be to get C19 or 20 in the future, but rumor has it the Black Star offhand is coming some soon TM kind of thing. So I'm kind of hesitant. I think I want to try to push it to 14, just for the extra AP, but after that it gets kind of wild in price. So we already know with the winter region, the Fallen God helmet is coming out. Then there's a new grind spot to go for all of that stuff. So I got mine at C10 ready to go. Once the new region drops, we're just going to grind the new area. Hopefully get the special evasion, or no, like the special crystal thingy to make the Fallen God same way we got this one. So new region, we're going to be grinding that. same way literally everyone else is going to be grinding it, hoping for the best. And I really hope it's not like Turos and it's not gonna require 2 people. So, well, I mean, Turos you don't need to grind with 2. It's just effectiveness, efficiency with 2 people is better than 1. So, honestly, I bought a protection stone so long ago. I don't even use it that much. So yeah, I have like the life one protection and a Vel. I honestly just use Vel most of the time. So yeah, that's basically my gear. DR. People say evasion versus DR. Back in the day, I tried evasion and I felt tankier, but I mean, DR is like the way to go for Dark Knights, but I personally felt a little bit tankier with it. But I don't know, I'm just used to playing Dark Knights mostly, and you die either way to basically everything. Dark Knights in general are glass cannons. Will DR save you? Not really. Will evasion? Not really. But I think DR right now is the way to go. So yeah, in terms of gear, that's what I have. This is what I have, in case you're curious. 876 accuracy with Kudum. 859 Nuver. 955 with Sayer. That also includes... Does that? Yeah, accuracy from this. Yeah, from Food Buff. But honestly, like, for Dark Knights, accuracy is important, of course, but ours is a little bit higher than other classes in general, so you don't have to worry as much. Plus, you get some accuracy from, like, you would get more from your set crystals and artifacts. So generally, I think you'll be fine. Yeah, with no matter, like, over 800, 850, you'll be fine for most players. If someone is full evasion and they're super geared, you probably might struggle a little bit, but those are like the 1%. So just avoid those players if you can. And everyone else, especially if you're doing like small scale, you'll be fine with this number. Yeah. Obviously, you'll have more if your gear is better, but this is where I am now. Some people have been asking me what kind of crystal do I have in my costume. I chose movement speed over critical hit. And which one is better? I don't know. I just prefer mobility over the extra crit. I think people have said that each like bar is 20%, which makes sense, but ultimately I'm not sure. I think I just value movement speed a little bit higher, so that's personal preference. Just get what you want. Yeah. So I'm glad they actually added this recently. This is my skill add-ons. Now, I have seen people use different things. I've seen people replace cluster for the shift Q, like nebula one. I've also seen people switch the Trap of Vadir out for something else. But ultimately, you want these 3: Spirit Legacy, Shattering, and a Seed of Catastrophe. Those are very important. So if you're playing Awakening, you want that. I do use Twilight Dash in weird ways. So this is just what I have. Is it the best set of skill add-ons? I have no idea, to be honest. But yeah, as I said, I spec more for PvP. And yeah, that's why we have like human damage, defensive, and all this stuff up. But if you are looking for PvE in general, what I would say is Spirit Legacy has a big damage to enemies or monsters, whatever it's called. And you would replace like these two. You basically, if you're PvE, you want more damage against monsters. and you want more cast and attack speed, critical rate, all of these are good. Just replace the human damage for monster damage. You don't particularly need evasion rate for PvE grinding. So yeah, just switch it up based on what you're doing. That's my this is what I have. For bombs, I use Shadow Strike for pulling enemies and grinding. That's it. I don't use this for damage. It kind of is garbage for damage. Obsidian Blaze, I have this one instead of Unveiled Fate because it has super armor. Literally the only reason. I barely even use this one. I use this one quite a bit for grinding. And then Balance Strike versus Slanted Slash. This one has invincible while moving. This one has forward guard. One sounds better than the other. But ultimately, this one has a 35-second cooldown, so like you're not really using any of these abilities for like big damage. It's just kind of one of those, hey, my other skills are on cooldown, I could use this one kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. A few things, I guess, if anyone at Pearl Abyss and your balance team in particular is watching it, make Grip of Grudge slightly better. I don't know, this ability, it just seemed like a very average, or it's not a great ability. It's one of the things you invest in last. So I don't know how to balance it. Just make it better. Recently with the, well, not recently, but with the whole reboot thing, they made, where is it? Corrupt Ground. They made it faster, but I still don't think it's like good enough. So like the way it works now, like it's a lot faster than it used to be, but I don't know. I think what would make this good if you used it is add some sort of like defensive stat or like protections ability on it, whether it's like forward guard or straight up invincibility while using it. That would be nice. I think I would actually use it. So that is just one of the small things I would change. Like I would say after the reboot, a lot of the things are very good. I don't really use Impervious Command a lot, nor do I use this Vadir's Dogma. Like if you have an infinite potion, you could use it. But whatever, it's not a big deal. But in terms of like skills I would like to see improved at some point, I do think Corrupt Ground was improved with the reboot, but it's just not like, it's not that good. It's better than it was before, but just add some sort of protection on it and I think it'd be great. Honestly though, like everything else is for the most part fine. Touch of Exploitation, I need to start incorporating that in my rotation more. I see it used every now and then. Spirit Blaze, do I even, okay, so it was, that looks cool, but that 1 or 2 second animation, if you're trying to do that in front of literally any other class, you're getting grabbed out of it. It doesn't matter. Like, you're getting grabbed out of it. You're going to die. It's cool. It looks cool, but it's not good. So I think if you're doing that, maybe a forward guard. I do like the float darkness thingy, that down outpour. It's pretty good. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, put some sort of protection ability on here. But those are really my only complaints. A lot of people also for your core skills. So Core Seed of Catastrophe is super armor during the skill. Now, a lot of people use this one because you're playing against other people's connection more than your own ability. Because I've definitely been in a lot of situations where I just get grabbed out of random things. I've been CC'd randomly, and I would say it's more of a connection issue. Because I've been grabbed across, like, not even close instances. And, I said this in another video, but I was fighting one of my guildies. She's a warrior, right? And, okay, so let's say this NPC right here is facing that way. I'm right behind him doing an ability. He isn't even looking at me. He just spins his camera, and then I get grabbed. And then, like, grab is so wonky, and man, that just bothers me every time. So it's like, I think they should fix grabs. I don't think they should, like, how do I say it? If you're gonna grab someone, you should at least be facing them. I don't know, that's just me. If you're gonna grab someone, at least face them. Not like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, grab you that way, and like, what in the world just happened? So anyway, that's why people use super armors to defend against stupid stuff like that every now and then. Now, I have also tested Shattering Darkness, and this one is kind of weird because it does stiffness on attacks, but the thing is, like, if you're trying to trade frontal guards with people and your gear isn't like 300 AP, it doesn't really work that well. You're better off, I don't know. So I understand that Dark Knights are glass cannons for the most part, and you really just trade. But when it comes to classes like Striker and Mystic, where they just eat magic damage and it's just like, oh, I got grabbed, I'm dead. Yeah, that does not fly. So over the time, as I've been improving slowly in PvP, learning how to fight other classes, I have valued defense and protection abilities more. So that's why we talked about it a while ago. I wanted to switch over. Eventually, like, this is super endgame stuff, right? I want to switch over to, like, 2 narc earrings instead of distos. And, you know, like, if once I hit, like, a 3-something bracket, 309, I could trade more offensive for defensive. That's also kind of why I chose the Voltara belt. Back when I had, like, lots more silver, I could have chose the Tungrad belt, but I chose the Voltara just because I wanted the whole HP one. And this is also why I chose the title version, which is the extra DR instead of crit rate. And when I get 2 pen Tungrads in the future, they're gonna both have the HP cups on it. Right now, I just got 1 of each just because, like, that was available. But ultimately, I am ready. If I ever hit 2 pen Tungrads, I have the cups ready to go, grinded those out. So ultimately, HP is the way to go. And now that artifacts are a thing, I think I do want to have an offensive and a defensive one. So, like, eventually my goal would be to have the HP artifacts that we saw before. And then I'll put, like, a defensive Lightstones in that one. And if I'm going full offense, this is probably what I use. Granted, I'll probably take out airstrike damage and replace that for crit damage. Because if you're, like, I heard some other person talking about this, and it was like, which one is better? Special evasion damage or special attack damage, something like that, versus crit damage? And if you know how to play your class very well and you're fighting people, like, you can get them CC'd all the time, I think the special attack is a lot better. However, if you are just going up trading, like, frontal guards and forward guards and just, like, blasting where you're trading attacks in the face, I think crit is the way to go. So that thing is how you, like, base your playstyle or crystals off your playstyle, not necessarily what other people tell you to do. So I think overall, just knowing how to play your class is a lot more important than the kind of gear you have. So that's why people are just like, oh, build this way. It's really just personal preference a lot of the times. So yeah, for example, if you're a mid-tier player wondering, should I get a Voltara or something else? Up to you. Well, honestly, right now, if I could get a Deboreka belt, I would absolutely get a Deboreka belt. Though I don't think I'd want a Tet one. It's like, if I get a Deboreka belt, it's gonna be Pen. Am I gonna get a Deboreka belt? Probably not. But, yeah, so basically this is the same thing as a Pen Tungrad belt. But who knows? Kind of weird. I don't think I'll ever... The fact that people are selling these is kind of shocking. If I were me and I'm like at the point where I'm grinding for a Deboreka belts, I'm gonna save up Cronstones and slam it to Pen. So yeah, that's just me. Anyway, off topic. So I guess let's go on with the whole Succession versus Awakening. I said in the beginning that you could do whatever you want, play which one is more fun to you. But for me, it really depends on where I'm grinding or what I'm doing. I think if I'm PvPing, I like Awakening more just because I'm at range and I'm like more mobile when I'm like PvPing. But if I'm grinding higher end spots and I just need more damage, I think Succession is the way to go. So I don't know. What I would say for like beginner players to intermediate level players is use the one that you have more AP in first, or whichever one shoots you up into the new AP bracket, do that one. I mean, if you have the like old moon buff, you can hot swap anyway, like every 10 minutes. It's not like you're not locked into it, but it just know what you're doing in advance. Like if are you grinding? Are you PvPing? Are you where are you grinding? That also is a very important factor. So like, for example, if I'm at Orcs and Elvia, right? I want more damage because I know I'm not going to be at risk of dying unless I literally just go AFK and my infinite potion won't keep me alive. So yeah, just be careful of like what you're doing. But if I'm grinding a small area, so let's say I was at Monchums yesterday grinding for these artifacts, I could one-shot them whether in Awakening or Succession. So I played Awakening just because it was a little bit faster clear speed. So yeah. So ultimately, play what you like more. Or if you play both options, pick the one that is more fun. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or anything on like, I think I showed my artifacts. Here's my crystals, my gear, the different kind of loadouts for the gear I have. But yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments or join the Discord. Everything is down below, and I will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day. I just want to say thank you guys also before we wrap up for all the new subscribers and stuff. I really do appreciate it. I don't get a chance to say thank you enough, but I really do appreciate all the new support. So have a fantastic day. See you guys later.